in other countries versus investing in UAE. Before we delve into it, एक बहुत interesting report also we came across today. कल Internations came up with this report. The best countries to live in as expats. Bahrain was first, second was UAE. And I think आज का subject this report answers, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think everybody knows starting over in Dubai, UAE, it's much easier. The visa regime, the finding a job, being practically finding accommodation has been very easy. And the people who have been complaining about finding right kind of properties, you will be surprised that if you compare it to cities like London, Spain, even Vancouver, Toronto, it's very hard getting accommodation over there at the right places, and the prices are at least 3 times the more, and I'm talking about the rental prices.
Wow.
Plus, yes, you have choices over here. You get various different areas that you can choose for, and the best thing is you like the villa lifestyle. You can buy, live in a villa.
Okay.
You like the apartment lifestyle. You can live. You like the marina or the beach. You have that choices. You want something private. You can all have it, and they are all in, let's say, maximum 20-25 kilometer radius, and the infrastructure is so nice. With this traffic, also you reach in 30 minutes.
Right. So the evolution, अगर हम बात करें, so there was a time when people would live here and then work their entire lives, and then back home अपनी एक property घर जो है उसके लिए they would save all the money.
Yeah.
But if you see, that trend has been changed a lot, and यहाँ पे अगर काम करने लगे हो, investing here makes more sense because why you want to pay rent. So that is one angle. But there are so many other factors also of investing in UAE in terms of ROI, in terms of other financial gains.
Correct. So the thing is, what we are going to discuss today is we are going to take each country wise. So we are going to look at investments in India. So India and Pakistan is the rules and regulation is pretty much the same. Okay. Then we are going to talk about comparing it to London, Singapore, America, even Canada. So when we compare, what is the advantage that you get? How easy is it to find a property and a right kind of property? What kind of mortgage requirements are there in this country and compare to this? So we're going to take each segment, one country at a time, and say why it does make sense to keep Dubai in the number one priority compared to them, and compare the rates as per the international market. So people say, yes, the last 2 years, the property prices have gone up. So why it has gone? Is there any more potential to go up? Of course, when you compare it to other cities of the top, which offer not even the similar kind of infrastructure, they are still much more expensive than it is there. And the potential of this city to grow from where it is to the next 10 years, it's tremendous. So we are just going to discuss more on city-wise and country-wise, that where it makes sense and why Dubai still makes number one priority. So instead of having that thought, let me buy first my home in my home country and secure my future there, I rather suggest you to buy your home here and secure your future in the country that you're living for a long time.
क्या बात है यार. तो ये discussion in terms of the entire bifurcation and then differences and which is more profitable as well, ये सारी details आपको मिलने वाले हैं इस घंटे, and it is a fantastic concept and a fantastic information जो आप miss नहीं करना चाहते. You have any questions, you can WhatsApp 0586861003. We'll get started.
Gives you two big disadvantage. One is, let's say when you're investing back in India, Pakistan, in the countries where the currency is fluctuating a lot compared to Dubai. So that is one of the main factors that you have to consider when you're investing in your home countries. You might find the property to be appreciating in a much more faster level, but when you compare it into terms of dirhams, so if you're earning in dirhams, if you're saving in dirhams, and then you're sending this money back in India to buy a property. So 10 years back, I can talk about Indian currency much more than others, and Indian currencies tend to be a little bit more stable than compared to what recently we have seen with other currencies. So 10 years back, we are talking about 2013, 2012, the Indian currencies were at 11 or 12 dirhams. Today it is 22.5. So if you had purchased a house which was 1 crore, if it turned out to be 2 crores today, but your dirham value, it is the same.
Correct.
So you actually gained nothing. Whereas if you had purchased a house in 2012 in Dubai, the property prices are almost up from in last 10 years around 20 to 30%. Plus each year that house would have got you a rental return of around 7 to 8% on an average. So you practically would have made 2 times the money by buying a house in Dubai rather than investing in India.
everyone who's done this already, you're making them feel like, wow.
I mean, the point is still the sentimental
yeah.
value. It is still there.
Emotional value is still
Yes,
there,
yes.
right.
So you want to buy a house. So because you're grown up over there, you want to see, wait, my friends were there. They have got their own house. I have the money. Why don't I buy it? Yes, it's the right thing. But then again, you can do that after you stop paying your rents over here. You're paying a rent to a landlord. You're paying 60, 70,000 a year. And you have no asset in this country when you're living here for more than 10 years. So, when initially Neil and me were discussing about this, it's the same thing. That if more than 5 years, if you're in the same country and you're given a landlord more than 60, 70,000 a year, that's 5 years, you're given around 350,000. Why?
Correct.
Use that money for your own house. So start consumption. So one more difference between buying house in India and buying house in Dubai is, so India has come up with the same concept of RERA after Dubai.
Okay.
So RERA got implemented in Dubai in 2008 because of the crisis. There were very strict rules. The difference between Indian RERA and Dubai RERA is that here you have to pay 100% of your installment amount into the RERA. In India, still there is some kind of giveaway, so you only have to pay 70%.
Okay.
The 30% the developer can still use for himself. So his profit is out. He can still delay. He has taken out his money from the installments and he can still take his own sweet time to construct.
Okay.
Here, you cannot take a single penny of your profit out till you deliver the project.
Nice.
So you have to put every money of it in this. Second thing is, in India, a lot of times the land doesn't belong to the developer. It is kind of a farmer owns the land, or it's a JV, it's a redevelopment.
Okay.
Here, the plot has to be 100% paid up. You cannot have an installment on that plan, or you cannot have even if it is a JV, the person who owns the plot has to be 100% own, a clear title.
Nice.
In Indian law, sometimes, the title is not very clear. That's why there is a lot of legal cases which go on, even for the projects under construction. So legally, this is much more safer country to invest. Second thing, the master plan, when a project gets launched in Dubai, so the master plan is pre-approved by the developer or the government. So no one is going to come back to you, Arey, the permission was for G+5 and you made G+10. Sorry.
Nice.
What they're building is the plan, and it's government approved. Everything is well monitored. The quality is well monitored over here. So I had a builder friend who came down from India. And
hold on to that story.
Yeah,
we will discuss more about that. Quickly, छोटा सा break. We'll be back. सुनते रहिए Talk 100.3. This is Talk Real Estate.
Here, every penny that you pay for a project has to go into an escrow account. That's the clear law. In India, there is 70% that they give it. Second thing is the plot, which is where you construct, needs to be clear title deed, needs to be 100% paid up. So there is no
Ambiguity.
no ambiguity.
Correct.
So the cases where the delay can happen, they have pretty much covered it up. The only reason that the delay still happens is sometimes the developer is a bit slow in terms of construction. They are taking their own sweet time, or the payment plan is as such that it gives developers enough time, to delay the project. That the payment plan is in installments and they are taking very less amount a monthly, so they can delay. But that's where you need to differentiate. So the maximum a person can delay in Dubai a project is 1 year. After that, land department starts putting penalties.
Okay. एक साल का एक timeline मिलता है आपको.
करेक्ट. सो आपने एक डेट अनाउंस कर दी, आपने एक डेट अप्रूवल कर दी, उसके बाद आपको एक ही साल मिलता है कि आप डिले कर सकते हो. उसके बाद आपको पेनल्टीज लैंड डिपार्टमेंट की तरफ से लीगली चालू हो जाती हैं. और आपने अगर उससे ज्यादा डिले करना चालू कर दिया, एक साल से ज्यादा आपका हो गया और एक साल कर दिया, तो आपने तो लैंड डिपार्टमेंट कैन स्टार्ट taking strict actions of cancelling the project, auctioning it and giving the money. But then again, they look at the situation and things like that. What is the reason to delay? So what you have seen now, after 2008, you will rarely see a project getting stuck, which is launched after that. You will rarely see a project getting stuck or not getting completed. Because RERA monitoring is every 3 months. Every 3 months, someone from RERA comes and visits your site, sees the progress, sees the what is happening. That kind of control sometimes we lack in India. That kind of comfort level goes away.
Correct.
Second thing is one of the biggest difference here is the square feet that they sell. So we are very much used to the term super built up in India.
जिसमें balcony भी आ जाएगा, नीचे का swimming pool भी आ जाएगा.
हाँ, swimming pool भी आएगा, आपके neighbor का थोड़ा portion भी दे देंगे आपको. So basically, I mean, the whole concept will take a long time if I explain on a radio. So very shortly, I will tell you that here the rules are very well defined. That the house, wherever you're using, and your walls are half covered, it's yours. Okay. No bullshit about, no things about plot, the passages, the lobbies, no things about, all those things are not included. Your parking areas, your other built up cover areas are not there. So there is no super built up over here. There is whatever area is yours exclusively with half walls, which you share, is yours. They come, and this is monitored 2 times. One, when you submit the design.
Okay.
And second thing, when your handover is done, someone from land department, a surveyor will come. He will check what you have designed is as built. If there is any discrepancies, if there is any changes, you are only allowed to have around 5% of area variation.
Okay.
Apart from that, anything that you have to pay back the buyer, or if it is excess area, the buyer has to pay you back. But the chances of that is 0.0001%, because since the rules have been checked when you designed it, it has been during the construction, it's been followed. They have revised and checked what you're doing during it, and at that time of handover, the survey comes and just authenticates what you have done.
Nice.
So that kind of rules and regulations sometimes are missing in India.
Yeah. So ये जो strict है, disciplined है, और it is regulated in such a way that कि ना customer ना supplier दोनों को कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Correct.
It is because of that.
See, yes, and not many people have that kind of trust, because a lot of people think कि ये सब control नहीं है. But we from the industry know that this kind of control, it's very... So as a new developer, you need to understand that if you're here in this market just to take people's money and run away, it's next to impossible. Not going to happen, because they have put in so many rules and regulations, so many checks and balances, that the buyer, end user, starts feeling comfortable in buying. The contracts needs to be approved from land department. The registration of a property, so you bought a property, needs to be immediately registered in land department system. You get only 60 days to register that. So then there is, everybody knows who's the owner and who's purchasing and everything. So the information that you see is very transparent. Nowadays, land department is so transparent that every time a unit gets, you can go to land department website, or there are various other websites where you can see actual transaction in that building. So if a developer is telling you sold out, fine, it can sell out, it can get a booking deposit of 10-20,000. 60 days है उसके पास register करने का. अगर 60 days के बाद भी it's not registered, and then maybe he gets another few days for paperwork and all that stuff. But आप देख रहे हो 4 महीने तक units अभी तक उसके आए नहीं है system में. So you know it's not sold out. You know that this is the kind of thing that, so that marketing gimmick is kind of taken off from this. So no longer that person is putting a sold out board, but actually units पड़े हुए हैं, and just to push you, and then he tells you, अरे last unit. So yes, they have 60 days to do all these things. कि अरे last unit अभी cancellation आ गया. But those things are controlled a lot. Okay. So now it's much more realistic.
So you can't fool the buyer. You can't fool the developer as well in that way.
So yeah, so developer cannot play around with this. So the trust factor, what they have tried to did it is, it's much more better compared to what it is. And again, as I said, the cities like Bombay, Delhi, they are actually much more expensive than Dubai.
Correct.
So rate per square feet in Dubai, it is average rate per square feet is around 1100 dirham per square feet. When you compare it to Bombay's premium apartments, they are anywhere going around 220,000 rupees, so which is around 10,000 dirhams per square feet on a premium building.
Wow.
So yes,
this is what 10 times less than that. Yeah.
So premium building. So if you're comparing it to Kolaba or to other areas, so one thing what Dubai lacks as of today is the demand. So a lot of people say yes, India has a lot of natural demand because of the population which is there. So yes, that's one term which Dubai, but then it's catching up. We are already at 3.5 million. Projected to reach 4.5 million in next 10 years or so. And
Dubai ka day population also has reached 5.5 million as well. So
yeah,
we'll talk about that more. Agar aapke paas bhi koi sawal, you can send a WhatsApp 0586861003. This is the Real Estate Hour. Akash Kanjwani, CEO of Skyview Real Estate with us. Sunte rahiye. So हम comparisons बात कर रहे थे, lot of regulations in UAE, and when we look at these regulations and the assurance जो रेरा हमें देता है when you buy a house or invest here, कहीं पे दुनिया में I don't think ऐसा assurance आपको मिलेगा.
So the thing is, when the crisis was there in 2008, the government, all missionaries came together. They first thing that they did was make rules for confidence building. Okay. All these rules were there implemented for confidence building, and some of these rules were already implemented in cities like Singapore, London, and Canada. So all those rules were kind of studied, and they were done as per what suits the local population, keeping in mind that a lot of population, as you said, the day's population is 5.1. That means a lot of people, they come here,
From
stay
other Emirates,
for other Emirates, and then there are a lot of tourists who stay here for 2 months, 3 months, and then they go back. So these are the, so keeping on all those things in mind, so they came up with these rules, and which is strict, but it gives a lot of confidence to the investors as an end user down the board. And when you have all these rules and regulation, one thing that person, he doesn't have to worry about ki yaar, I'm putting the money in the right city. And this is what the confidence that this Dubai has been giving you. However, when you compare it, so we did a good comparison with India, and we told you that the price range in terms of appreciation, in terms of dirham or a USD value wise, it is much more better compared to India. The new development is much more better that you can have it over here because it's more regulated. And whether you're comparing it to other cities or no, if you're still living in India, Dubai can be one of your option to have a second home, and which is very popularly becoming a second home for a lot of celebrities. Absolutely. In fact, we were just talking to a celebrity last week, which is planning to have a second home over here, and he wants to have a lavish house, which is, and the reason he wants to do it is because he's more comfortable spending and keeping his family over here rather than keeping it back in Bombay.
No, we know, Sanjay Dutt has moved. Unka ghar hai yahan pe. Sonu Nigam has come. Unka ghar hai yahan pe. And also recently, 2 hafte pehle, we had Baba Sehgal in our studio. I love Baba Sehgal. The way he raps and, bachpan se sunte aa raha ho. So, he got a house at Dubai Creek Harbour.
Yes.
And what a locality that is. So when you have these celebrities coming in,
yeah.
आपको लगता है कि एक general sentiment भी बढ़ता है in terms of trust?
In terms of trust. So basically, see, rules regulation for celebrities. So the celebrity that I'm talking to, he was frustrated with stepping out and their kids getting photoshopped. Paparazzis. Here it is too much rules regulations. Here you can't harass anyone. You can't be standing outside the airport and clicking them, and then it gets irritating for them also.
Correct.
So that kind of privacy life that if you're looking for, this country offers you very well. And also here I think the people are much more comfortable to be around celebrities. They know how to handle this. It's like it doesn't get too much,
unless Shah Rukh Khan aa gaya to baat alag hai.
So I mean, Shah Rukh Khan he's super celebrity, can't compare it to anyone. I think if Shah Rukh Khan aaya to my dad will be the first person standing to take a selfie with him.
But yeah, A-listers we have, ki wo to.
Yeah, but even Shah Rukh Khan has a house here. You will not find people standing outside his house and waiting for him to come out, because that kind of standards is always maintained, and no one will be inclined to click photos. Probably Shah Rukh Khan, when it's announced, even if he goes in a mall or something, you will not find people gherofying him just because.
We've seen Salman Khan doing that at Dubai Mall. वो घूमते हैं ऐसे ही, and he has his bodyguard, लेकिन लोग ऐसे झपटते नहीं हैं.
So until unless आप announce करके बोल दोगे अरे शाहरुख खान आ रहे हैं, तो जिन लोगों को नहीं भी पता होगा और जिन लोग casually just shopping करने गए हैं, वो थोड़ी बैठ के they will start following up. So that gives you a bit of confidence that it is there. But again, I'm not against Indian reality. Indian real estate does offer certain good properties and everything. But if you're based here, then you should definitely first think about here, then investing back in India.
Right.
If you're already invested in India, then I think it's high time that you should consider investing a small portion of that in Dubai as well. And if you're based in India, I think second home wise, Dubai does make a lot of sense for you.
Right.
Now,
so if I'm not a resident, I can still have a property here.
For buying a property, you don't need to have any residence visa.
Nice.
In fact, if you are buying a property above 750,000, if it is ready and you have invested your own 750,000 money into it, not taken a mortgage or anything, you can still get a visa, a residence visa, which is called an investor visa.
Nice.
It's 2 years renewable.
Okay.
And if you're investing more than 2 million of your own cash into a property, you can get a golden visa, which is very easy. So you buy a property today, get a right deed property, get a title deed, go to land department. There is a special section which has been made for a golden visa people. And the fastest golden visa we got, the customer came in the morning, he applied at 8 o'clock, and by next day his visa was approved.
Wow. An Indian national?
In fact, from African country, Indian origin.
Oh, wow.
So you can imagine.
So life कितना easy हो जाता है आपका, right?
Yeah. So a lot of people that we see, it is there. And normally आप जब property बेचते हो in any country, so when we are comparing it to India, London or anything, the normal transaction period after you found a buyer, and I'm not talking about when you find a buyer, the normal transaction period is at least 40 days to 6 months. That's the time period, because then you have to check, the lawyer has to come, the contract has to be done, the terms and condition of the contract needs to be registered in a registrar office, and all those process takes a long time. And still here, the transaction period, after you find a buyer, you just have to apply a NOC with the developer, and if it's a cash buyer, you can actually do the transaction in 1 day.
Nice.
So you find a buyer and you finish the transaction exactly in 1 day without any hassle. If it's a finance buyer, you're talking about 15 to 20 days time, not more than that.
इतना क्विक हो जाता है. And you know, when you talk about so many regulations, I mean, in terms of assurance, in terms of security, and in terms of time. Now, time is money, and ऐसे अगर quick transactions के लिए you can be a part of the so many advantages. In fact, when you compare it to other countries, we'll also talk about a lot of people wanting to move to other countries, Western countries, investing there. We'll come to that. एक छोटा सा break. We'll be back.
Akash
Kanjwani, CEO, Skyview Real Estate, and what an inspiring personality इस वक्त. You know, it's the first time that I'm getting to chat with you, और बहुत कुछ ऐसे interesting information मिल रहा है. So thank you so much for sharing that with all our audience as well.
Well, thank you so much. I think, Talk FM has given me, we are talking to third person as a RJ, and I did had a small meeting with the Catch as well. So I think, this is the conversation that I had with anybody who has been living in Dubai, like you yourself, who has been living for Dubai for a long time. And everybody have the same questions that they ask me, that why do I buy? What is the advantage? What is the disadvantage? And I've been doing this for 18 years now.
Amazing.
So when I say 18 years, I am an investor my side. I buy properties and I sell properties. I buy properties for flipping. I buy properties for rental returns. Also, I have been a broker. So I understand the market on both sides. I understand as a buyer, what are you looking at? I understand as an investor, what kind of returns and what kind of assurance are you looking at for before investing? And as a broker, I understand the market trends. So I know which property is launching when. So this
and all segments, residential, commercial, rental.
So I think, see, Dubai is not a very big market that you can come out of it. So when an investor comes to me, and the residential properties have a different kind of rental returns and assurance, a commercial property gives you a better rental returns, but has bit more riskier as well.
Nice.
Because when the market is slower, a company formation takes a double hit. But right now the market is booming. So not many people are aware that the commercial properties are giving you around 9 to 10% rental returns, and they are the highest right now. And I think if the market continues this way, in next 6 months, the commercial properties will see the biggest jump, because there are not commercial projects launched in last 10 years.
Amazing.
You haven't seen a full-on commercial building which was launched after 2009 or 2010, because before there was a trend that people used to launch a whole commercial building, and very rarely, maybe 1 or 2 projects. But as a major chunk, even a lot of buildings in Business Bay, which were commercial permit, were changed either to hotel or to residential.
Okay.
So commercial is a very scare right now, and I think that's one segment which is gonna boom in the next couple of years. But it's not easy, because you need to understand commercial is the only properties where you pay VAT. So you need to be VAT registered. You need to collect when you're renting the property. You need to collect the VAT, and those are things that we will cover.
And we were not talking about. I mean, we don't only mean कि कि आपको कोई एक छोटा सा establishment के लिए खोलना है. We're also talking about big warehouses as well as a commercial.
Correct.
आपको वो भी अगर चाहिए होता है, it also becomes a struggle for.
Well, the thing is, if you want to rent it out, the warehouses are readily available, but their prices have little bit adjusted. They are going up a bit now. But if you want to buy a warehouse, there are very limited options which are there.
Nice.
So
there is a big chance
to improvement. So the price range for a warehouse, but then again, what I say is warehouse is a very niche market. So you're a bit more riskier on that investment.
Okay.
I rather say if you're invest in a commercial offices.
Okay.
Because that's always going to be in demand.
Correct.
And if you have a big office like more than 5,000, you can always convert it into a business center and give small offices on rent to small people. So you are much more flexible, and you can cover up your at least 80 to 90% of your rental is confirmed. That I can give it small offices for people who are taking day business licenses. They are opening just for small licenses, and I think that's one more trend which is catching up right now.
And in fact, we've noticed this कि around the world, especially geopolitical issues की वजह से, we saw that a lot of nationalities coming in.
Correct.
So that aspect of coming in and buying, making your investments more secure, I think we've answered that question as well.
Correct. So basically, a lot of people. So as I said, Dubai is kind of a rules and regulation what you see in the West, and the kind of demand that you seeing in India and Pakistan. So it's a mixture of them.
Okay.
And the transactions. So there is rules and regulation, but they are also technologically advanced.
Okay.
So earlier the valuation used to take a little bit longer time because it used to be manual. And 2 weeks back, Land Department has announced that they are doing the valuation instantly. So they have come up with something which you put the property details, and they are using technology. They are using AI. So you put your property details. The system automatically scans all the transactions which were done in last 1 month to 6 months, and then it gives you a value of the property, keeping in the transaction in mind, and which is very instant. So if a property transfer is happening and you're dependent on that government valuation, that what is the valuation, sometimes you might have to wait 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe 2 days, that valuation has not come. Now you just submit the paper, the value system does this valuation and tell you, and if you accept, you'd pay the DLD registration charges based on that valuation, you're done. So no more paperwork.
It sounds so easy and interesting, because
It is.
you've done this over and over multiple times and you mastered it.
So the thing is, people, last week we had one customer who got frustrated because he said, we went at transfer at 12 o'clock, the buyer was late, and he came at around 3:30.
Oh.
So the only thing was the bank took a bit of time to make the manager check.
Right.
And he got so frustrated. He's like, I heard Dubai is so fast. I said, sir, Dubai is fast means you're just doing a transfer in 2 days time. How fast you have to be?
Look at the expectation. The
expectation.
bar is so high already. The
Yeah.
standard, the
Yeah.
quality.
So people come in the morning, like a seller. He has signed the MOU, NOC is ready. He comes in the morning, does the transfer in the evening, and goes back to his country. We had these cases coming in from India. We had a case from London. The guy came only, I'm in transiting. Do you think I can finish the transfer? I'm going from London to Singapore. Can I stay back 3 hours and do it? I said, sir, possibly stay 2 days, but if you can't, then I'll try my best. And we did it.
Wow.
So we did it.
Wow. So on demand request as well.
Yeah.
आप पूरा करते हैं Skyview Real Estate. Very interesting. बहुत सारे points है जो हम जानना चाहते हैं in terms of investing in UAE. इतने सारे amazing आपको ना advantages मिलते हैं. Slowly we get to know so much about it. Yeah.
Correct. So the thing is, lot many people into their day-to-day life. Everybody is busy. Everybody is doing their own work, and so they don't take time. But real estate is very interesting segment, and people who have been investing. So if you see a guy who bought property in Dubai has been buying multiple properties. He doesn't stop at one. So he keeps on buying. Yes, there are certain communities which have not taken off like they are expected, and for them I'll only suggest one simple thing, that don't take a call to sell it just because you have not reached to a profit that was you're expecting.
Right.
Maybe you can start renting it out and holding the community for longer. You can also find a bank which gives you equity release so that you can use that funds and invest somewhere else as well.
Correct.
And but if your community is not done well, and if your community is not going, then there must be a time period that you have to give. And rental return wise, even the worst communities in Dubai give you a 5% rental return on an average.
Amazing. And when an investor comes to Akash and asks for suggestions, आप कैसे choose करते हैं, ये सब हम जानेंगे. एक छोटा सा 1 minute का break. We'll be back. We were talking about the advantages of investing here, but also when investors come, ask for advice, what do you suggest them? Because what end goal is, a higher return.
So the point is high return, but we also try to, or personally me, when I'm talking to someone, I try to find it out what they do, what they are all about, and what kind of budget are they talking about. So investment तो बहुत अच्छा है. कोई भी broker आ जाएगा, they will start putting you a property की ये ले लो, ये ले लो, ये ले लो. I'm not a shop. I'm not a supermarket.
Nice.
We understand your product. We understand what you are requiring, and then suggest you few things, because every investment and every property is not for everybody. Okay? So there are people who will buy for properties for staying for themselves. So then we give them the ideas what is the best area to stay, what areas looks like it's a long-term staying proposition, which is close to your schools, to your workplace, traffic come here, and all those things. And future mein appreciation, it looks like it can be appreciated a bit. Then there are places where you're purely coming for investment. So you have a X amount of money and you only want to have a property appreciation. So we suggest you new launches. We suggest you new projects which are launching in Dubai. We suggest you where there is a possibility of buying a property and flipping in, let's say, 6 months to 1 year's time, and that has its own risk. appetite. So if you have that kind of risk appetite, go ahead with it. But if you're not, and if you want to be a safer side, then we suggest you something which is ready. But then the confusion, what happens that you try to have everything on its own. You want a rental return also, and you want a price appreciation also, and you want to flip the property. Everything doesn't happen in the same time. So every launch has a different advantage. Every launch comes in with a location. Very recently, a project which was launched was from Dubai Property Meras Group, was D3, which is Design District project, which was launched, and the launch started at 10 o'clock. By 10:30, all the good units were sold out. So people were already queuing up. They already knew what they have, what they want to pick it up. They had 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms, and people already knew the good units. And the location is so fantastic. It's just across Burj Khalifa district. Good location. Design District is already famous for the kind of brands and kind of environment that it gives you. So it was no brainer to buy the property over there.
So whenever ऐसा कोई launch होता है, तो you think that it's 90% of the residents who go for it, or is it 50-50?
So basically now what we are seeing is around 60% non-resident, 40% resident.
Nice.
The international demand for Dubai is very, very high. And launches wise, a lot of international clients are there who are interested to pick it up. They want to buy super good properties. And in terms of local residents, they are buying. Yes, of course they are buying. But then I think the enthusiasm of international clients is much more. And then given the nationality, so we had Russian who were the top investors last year, quarter of last year.
Yeah.
And then we have Chinese who are coming back. So Indians have become top again this quarter.
Top 3 में?
Top 3. Top 1 in fact. This quarter Indians are back in top 1.
Okay.
Russians are number 2. And Chinese are slowly coming back. They were number 10 because of the lockdown, and they couldn't go back, which is opening up now.
Nice.
So we are seeing many Chinese investors which are going to come back into the market, and they are going to buy properties. And so what gives us big advantage is people from Europe are also coming. So you have French, German, British. British were always traditionally, we have a big community of British people living over here. They love the place. But now what has happened, new people, new cities like people from France and Paris and Germany, a lot of people are coming from there.
Nice.
And they are buying properties here predominantly because of tax-free status.
Oh, I thought it's because of the sun.
Sun, well, for sure,
Point.
but sun ke liye you can just live in a fancy hotel in 6 months, right? But
yeah, Akash, we'll continue this. Virendra ka ek interesting सवाल आया है. वो पूछ रहे कि about NOCs from developers is what he wants to know.
Yeah.
In case of resale properties, do we get the NOC fast nowadays?
So land department has come up with a system where it is its NOCs can be applied on Mulak system. So if your payments are done on the Mulak, your 100% your service charges are paid. So some of the developers you don't even need NOC. You just have to go on the Mulak system, and there is e-NOC which is available, and you can get it instantly.
Superb.
And however, even if the e-NOCs are not implemented for the developer that you are speaking, maybe all the developers have made it very super easy to get the NOCs. It doesn't take more than 24 hours. Imar has made NOCs online to apply, and you can get it in 4 to 5 hours time.
Okay.
If your developer is taking more time to give NOCs, you can always call land department and they can make the process very fast.
क्या बात है यार, वास्ता सीधा
लैंड डिपार्टमेंट में अगर आपको डेवलपर सो रहा है और
आपको
यू डोंट नीड, आपने अपने डेवलपर को सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स दे दिए, और एनओसी फीस आर वेरी फिक्स्ड. तो ऐसे नहीं कि कोई कुछ चार्ज कर रहा है. फॉर अ रेडी प्रॉपर्टी वेयर द टाइटल डीड आर इशूड, द एनओसी फीस इज 525 dirhams. For the off-plan property where the project is still under construction, or the place where the payment is not 100% done, it is post-handover payment plan, the NOC fees is 5,250.
Okay.
So this is pretty strict for all the developers. They cannot vary. कोई ये नहीं कि 15,000 ले लिया, कोई 25,000 ले लिया. This is a standard NOC fees that you have to pay for these ones, and they come up maximum time period that we have seen a developer issue the NOC is 24 hours.
Correct.
That's not more than that.
And of course, life easy करने के लिए है. And if you see, other Emirates as well, Sharjah, maybe there was a lot of options जहाँ पे आप खरीद सकते हो now.
Correct.
पहले वो lease का वो जो concept था. So much of evolution is already being happening.
Correct.
एक concept हुआ करता था कि हम यहाँ पे काम करेंगे and then we'll buy home back. वो concept जो है वो आस्ते-आस्ते जा रहा है. So if you look at the evolution, where do you see as of now?
So what people are seeing now, newer communities are going to get developed. People demand good houses. People demand good communities. So coming back to Sharjah, a lot of people said, "Arey Sharjah mein, where will freehold properties survive?
Right.
Who will buy in Sharjah?" A lot of people, they were living in Sharjah because it's affordable. that concept changed. Communities like Arada launched something. Then there was Al Zaya from Majid Al Futtaim. They launched, and guess what? They are 100% sold out, and they are seeing property appreciation. They have seen a property appreciation of 20 to 30%. So, given if you give quality product, if you give good lifestyle, you will always find buyers. And between Sharjah and Dubai, so a lot of people still prefer. Some of them still have been living in Sharjah for almost 20, 30 years.
Correct.
So if you give them a freehold space with a good product, good finishing, good quality in Sharjah itself, they love to have it over there.
Because they've lived nostalgic.
They have been living. They have generation have been staying over there.
Nice.
And I have some friends like in Al Zaya. I have some friends who are staying in Dubai, but they invested in Al Zaya. Given the community, which is it's very interesting. It has very good concept of a swimming pool, community shopping mall. So Al Zaya city center is right next to the house. The entire district is very well designed. It's like, so if you have not been to Al Zaya city center, I recommend you should be. And you should take your time to go to the Al Zaya community which is behind it.
काफी बड़े villas है.
काफी villas है, apartments
भी है.
apartments भी हैं, and they have a small district like where there is going to be walking shopping street, open air street, which they are going to have in the community. Then there is Arada. Arada is a very modern community what they are building, and they had townhouses starting from 1.2. Now the prices have gone up till 1.5, 1.6. The demand is so high in these communities that there is nothing available with the developer, and resale market is crazy. It's the demand is more than the supply again for these communities. So it's not like communities cannot develop. So if you do a good work, if you give a good product, good quality product, it sells everywhere. And in Dubai. So coming to a last part, I know we have discussed today, and the time kahan pe chala gaya pata hi nahi chala.
It's so much so interesting points to know from you, Akash. We could go on for 4 hours, I think.
Yes, and before Sunny comes and kicks. क्या कर रहे हो आप लोग? So let's just quickly wrap it up if I can. So we didn't discuss about investing compared to in other cities like London, Canada and all. So one of the factors, yes, off-land, first there is no land. So new projects are not coming in these cities which are there. It's the old projects which are redevelopment, the plots of land which are there. So the planning, permission and everything takes almost 6 to 8 months to a year. The whole bureaucracy is pretty longer for if you have a land or if you have an old house, you want to redevelop it. So the whole planning and everything takes a year and a half.
Correct.
So second thing, the taxes, which are pretty high. So when you sell a property here or you buy it, do trading, there is no taxes. This is your personal income. There is no taxes. There is no filing that you have to do. But the cities like France, cities like London, so in a normal transaction, the first thing that the lawyer asks you is, what's your taxes? This is your profit that you're making and this is the tax that you have to do. So even if the appreciation is around 40-50% or something in 5 years time, the taxes when you deduct, your appreciation is much lesser than what it shows on the paper. So why not invest in Dubai, where the taxes are much less. The money that you're making is the net money that you're taking. There is no taxes that you're paying. You only have to keep in factor the 4% DLD registration charges.
Correct. And normally, कभी-कभार तो developers वो भी offer करते कि waive कर देते, right?
Yes, they were. कभी-कभार अब वो बहुत कभी-कभार होता जा रहा है. Because what is happening, the demand इतनी ज़्यादा है कि developer बिना वो DLD off करके लोग खरीद रहे हैं. So that is becoming rare, and what is gonna go away from the market is the post handover payment plan. I think very less developers are doing that post handover payment plan now, and जिन्होंने कर दिया वो that's a good option that you have. And if your post handover payment plan is transferable, so basically you can transfer the same post handover payment plan to your new buyer, then I think you have a gold in your hand, because that's the kind of investment that a lot of people are looking for. Nice. In going ahead, because your ROI becomes high. So आपने 50% ही payment किया है, you only paid 50% of your property value, and you started putting on rental, so your ROI becomes double technically.
So to summarize, अगर आप लंदन की बात करो या मुंबई, दिल्ली की बात करो या आप सिंगापुर की बात करो,
correct,
in terms of taxes, in terms of getting value for money, ये दो factors तो आप taking
हैं, and then the rental return. So rental return is in an average in London property is around 2.5 to 3. Sometimes in Manchester it goes till 4.5, 5, but then the price appreciation is much lesser. In Dubai, the least areas that you can get rental returns are the premium properties, but over there it's around 4.5-5%.
Amazing.
And then these high-end properties which are in demand, you can always furnish them and put it on Airbnb, so your rental return shoots up to 12 to 13%.
Superb.
And then areas like affordable areas like JVC, Remram, Arjan, the rental returns at the current buying price and everything is around 8.5%.
Superb, yeah.
So when you're having this kind of rental returns, why not invest in Dubai and keep up money of that? So and these rentals are tax free. So again, this
Rental
is
income पे कोई tax नहीं, capital gain पे कोई tax नहीं as of now.
As of now, and we have been confirmation, so there is no plans to have this. But हाँ, अगर corporate तरीके से आप इसको invest कर रहे हो और corporate उसमें, so corporate tax आ गया है. I think उसके लिए you need to be prepared how you want to invest, and corporate tax is at 9% compared to what other countries are doing at 40-50%. So
Correct, yeah.
shouldn't be a problem for people who are regular investors into the market.
Nice. You know, there is so much to know, Akash. How can people get in touch with Skyview Real Estate? I know the WhatsApp number 050-285-9321.
Yes, you can. That's our WhatsApp number 050-285-9321. You can also call us on that number if you want to get in touch. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with my you can message me on Instagram. It's AkashDXB, my handle. You can also message us on skyviewdubai.com. That's our website. You can reach on that. We have property listings over there. And it's easy to get in. If you want to just pick up the phone and give us a call, it's easy. Just call us on 050-285-9321 and we will get back to you with your queries.
So that's 050-285-9321 and Akash Kanjwani, CEO of Skyview Real Estate. Skyview Real Estate की website पे भी आप जा सकते हैं. Akash, it was superb listening to you, getting so much insights about the real estate market. We'll see you soon next week.